platform. And as they are coming up, I'll read some introductions. Cameron Connor is a visiting fellow and professor of practice at Tufts University, Tisch College of Civic Life. He focuses his teaching and research on forms of community organizing around the world. Cameron began writing as a columnist with the Fig Tree while on a Watson Fellowship studying community organizing in Spain, Great Britain, South Africa, and the Philippines. Cameron continues to write freelance for us. Pingala Dital is a refugee educator at Thrive International, responsible for the Mahima Project, a project empowering refugee women. She's been part of World Relief Spokane and Refugee Connections and is on the board of Feast World Kitchen. Of Nepali heritage, she fled Bhutan and came to Spokane from Nepal in 2008. In 2023, she was named one of Spokane Review's Inland Northwest Women of the Year. Kasuhan Kobede is a cultural sociologist and Africana studies professor at Eastern Washington University, who for 15 years has studied life patterns, migrations, and relocations of and health of Ethiopians and of the African diaspora in the United States. He shared with the Fig Tree his journey to Spokane and his desire to improve literacy in his own Ethiopian village by starting a library. Christine Hoover, chair of the master's program in organizational leadership at Gonzaga University, was for many years the chair of the Hate Studies Center and chair of the Washington State Legislative Ethics Board. She has worked with Clement Lai to produce a documentary, Carla, the rescuer on Carla Peperzak, a Dutch resistance fighter we saw in the video, who saved 40 people from the Nazis. So we're very grateful to have them with us. Let's begin with you, Cameron.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the introduction, Father. My name is Cameron Connor. I am a community organizer by training, currently serving as a visiting professor of the practice at Tufts University, and I have had the honor and privilege of going from growing up reading the Fig Tree to now serving as a columnist with it. My family, many of whom are over there, for the past 40 years have been working with fair trade partners in Nepal. One of the great things about the Fig Tree, constantly making connections. 10 years ago, though, when a 7.9 magnitude earthquake struck northwest Kathmandu, many of these partners on the ground lost their homes and their livelihoods. Within 24 hours, we were able to begin raising funds and coordinating with our partners to deliver emergency relief. As India declared an embargo on all fuel products entering Kathmandu, entering Nepal, the situation became even more dire. Those were the stakes. And Mary Stamp, as always, with her finger right on the pulse, with incredible speed, followed up. She worked with us to capture the story and make sure it was sent out in the very next issue of the Fig Tree. The attention that that story brought to the work that we began doing not only helped raise funds that delivered life-saving aid as aftershock after aftershock continued, but it did something even more important that the Fig Tree is very well known for. It brought together an incredible community of people across Spokane who cared about this issue and wanted to help, many of whom we would never have known about or been able to reach had the Fig Tree not been there. And as months passed and immediate relief turned into long-term recovery, this community that the Fig Tree helped create stayed together. It continued working long after the larger media spotlight had moved away, long after the large international aid organizations had moved on, and it literally saved lives. And when I think about the remarkable impact that the Fig Tree has had on my own life and the impact that I have seen it have on this community, these are the memories that spring forward. For me, it distills why the world needs the Fig Tree, especially at this point in time. Because beyond the incredible stories of inspiration that it lifts up, beyond informing us about the amazing things going on right down the street that we might never have known about had it not been for the fig tree, above all else, their work and their stories weave us together into a community that strives together towards a collective vision. To wax slightly theoretical for a moment and quote, there's a French philosopher, Alexis de Tocqueville, who studied democracy in America, and he made a critical insight on the importance of newspapers like the fig tree, and wrote, "In democratic countries, it often happens that many people who both want and need to get together cannot do so. For being very small and lost in the crowd, they do not see one another and do not know where to find one another. A newspaper gives publicity to the feeling or the idea that has occurred to them all simultaneously, but separately, so that all at once they are able to aim towards this collective light. And those wandering spirits, long seeking each other in the dark, are able at last to meet and unite." And what is that if not what we're doing right here? That's what the fig tree does. It shines a light to guide our wandering spirits to meet and to unite. And just as Mary's actions after the earthquake helped pull people together who shared a love for a country on the other side of the planet, was able to accomplish that just in our lives, it has done the same thing for countless others across Spokane, countless others across the Northwest. In my work as an organizer, I know that one of the most powerful things we can do is bring people together to realize we are not alone. We're not alone. And it is this realization that allows us to move from isolation into action. Growing up reading The Fig Tree made me realize that I was not alone. That there were people out there in my community who wanted to do good, people who I could ask for help when I stumbled, for advice, and who I could learn to act with. After all, the stories we tell become the world we live in. It was true for me that the stories of the fig tree shaped my world. They gave me the imagination for both the kind of person that I wanted to be and the kind of people I wanted to fill my life with. It's hard to find your people in a crowd, but the fig tree does that. In all the communities I've worked in, from Eastern Washington to Texas to Nepal to now Eastern Michigan and Minnesota, it is incredibly rare to find something like the fig tree that does this. So we do need to support it. We need to support it. That's what we're here to do. But it's not enough just to support it. We also need to use it. To use it to find the people we want to flock to use it to build relationships, to build community, and to move from inspiration into action based on these stories that we hear. So let us together strengthen this incredible work that is being done and show what kind of a future we can illuminate with this collective light. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us, Pingala.